Family owned and operated in Delta, home of the Four Winds Light Lager, a crisp, clean, and easy drinking beer. A beer for everyone, a perfect beer for before, after, or during the game. Ask for Four Winds Light Lager at your local liquor store or have some delivered right to your door through the online shop at fourwindsbrewing.ca. Let's bring him in. Dave Hall, Canucks Army's prospect guru, who's been doing a fantastic job filling the large shoes of Chris Faber. Dave, how's it going today? We got Dave? Grady? Oh.
Dave, we need you to unmute your mic.
How about that?
No.
We're Classic. Not in?
No, you're good. You're good now. Classic.
Okay, I'm in.
I got to start by talking a little crap here. Archer Seeloves, he's got his groove back, doesn't he? Talk about him. Where's his game at right now, especially in comparison to where it was earlier this season?
Yeah, so he's bounced back. I mean, I'm not going to get into any post-integration stuff here. I can't break down the exact game, but yeah, he's looked good. Obviously, he's letting 3 goals in the past 4 games, and he's just looked a lot better. I will say one thing to keep in mind is that the defense as a whole has just gotten a little more sound. The first couple games were just brutal, and you could tell that there were just some system breakdowns. And although he did let in some squeakers, but you could tell that the defense was just nowhere near where it is right now. So I think as a whole, the team is playing a lot better. But Seeloves has bounced back, and it's been great.
Dave, we haven't heard a lot about Abbotsford lately just because we've been so focused on this wagon of a NHL team. What has gone down in Abbotsford, especially with some of the top prospects since we last spoke to you?
Well, they're on a heater right now. Things were a little touch and go for a while, but they've won 5 straight, I believe it is. And the only thing that sucks right now is they're not playing a lot. They had a stretch of like 5 games in 7 nights, and now they're only playing weekends. So for the next month, they only have a couple games, which sucks. But they're firing. They've had some injuries, but they've had some people step up. The line of Ratu and Linus Karlsson and Max Hassan has been electric. They've been by far the most consistent line that the Abbotsford Canucks have right now. I think they've combined for 15 points as a trio in the last 5 games. So they're just firing hard right now. Of course, Claude Colson came back the weekend. He didn't put up any points, but he's looked really good. He's taking shots. Love the half wall play. He's just ripping one-timers from the side, which is nice. But yeah, just overall, they've been playing really well. I just really like that Ratu, Linus Karlsson, and Max Hassan line.
Speaking of that Ratu line, what do you think is making them click and work so well right now?
Well, they for whatever reason, they've just seemed to find something together. But I think the thing that I really like about their game is that they're not just trying to put up points. They're all 3 of them are grinding hard. Max Hassan and Linus Karlsson, we always knew that was going to be a part of their game, but it's just nice to see all 3 of them getting into the dirty areas, never quitting on any plays, and just getting greasy goals when they need to. It's just been a really nice thing to see. They've just found this random chemistry that I think they were a little shocked themselves because, as we know, Ratu, he's supposed to play in the center. Their whole plan, I think, was to kind of keep him in that third line center role. But even with the injuries coming back, they just pretty much had to stick with this line because they've just worked so well together for whatever reason.
Dave, in this week's Blackfish report, you wrote about Tom Willander's point streak. Can you talk more about that? Like, what's going on with Tom Willander right now?
Yep. They had a random matinee game yesterday, and his point streak did finish, unfortunately, with 3 games. But he's finally got that. He's finally putting up the points that we knew he could. Like for the previous games, although they haven't been spectacular, he was still getting opportunities. They just weren't, whoever was passing to just wasn't going in. So he's finally got some points, which was nice. He finally got that goal, that seeing eye shot from the point. But overall, I mean, the thing that we should be getting excited about is on the defensive end anyways. The offense we're hoping will come, but ultimately that's not really what makes his game. So overall, it's just nice to see him finally get the points for the people that love to stat watch. But overall, I haven't been worried about his game, whatever. In fact, I've just been so impressed with just everything that he brings to the table, especially on the defensive side.
Friedman and Myers each sort of got banged up and missed a little bit of time in the game last night. If the Canucks need extra reinforcements on the blue line, who should be the next 1 or 2 defenseman they look at from Abbotsford in deserving a recall?
Yeah, the $1 million question. This is where, we've been on a honeymoon for a while. We talked about this so much at the start of the season. Things were going so well, but when those injuries start to pile up, it's going to be dicey, and we're at that point. So I think what I would like to see, I think the easiest answer to that question is Akito Hirose stays up. Hopefully Willander, he was banged up all last weekend, so he actually missed both their games. Not totally sure on an update on him, but assuming he's healthy, I think the easy answer is to actually finally move Cole to the right side, bump up Willander, just have Willander just play in the top four, and then just have Akito Hirose and Juleson just, do their thing on the bottom third. Again, I don't know what's going on with Willander right now. So assuming he's out, that's where it gets a little tricky. I think the easy answer is to just bring up McWard for now. If it's a quick couple game stint, McWard's easy because he doesn't have to clear waivers. You bring him up, you plug him in the third line role, and we just see where it goes, and then you just drop him down easy. If it is a little bit longer term for Myers, I actually think I'm finally trending towards going the direction of Jett Woo. Yeah, I just think, for one thing, I would like to see McWard just stick in the AHL and just let him eat those minutes, just get the time that he needs rather than just rush him up. But I mean, with Woo, he honestly kind of profiles the same as Mark Friedman at this point. They're somewhat similar size. They play some similar profiled games. Just they muck it up, they kill penalties, all that stuff. So I think if it's longer term, I don't mind Jett Woo coming up and at least trying him out to see what he does. I just think he's earned it. He's played pretty well. He's not going to give you anything spectacular, but like I said, he's pretty much just Mark Friedman, who's not going to give you anything spectacular either. So I think long term, try out Jett Woo, but of course he has to clear waivers. So if it's short term, that's not ideal. And let's just say McWard. But then you run into the inevitable problem. What are you going to throw Akito Hirose and Cole McWard as a pairing in the NHL? I don't know. So maybe finally you break up Hronek and Quinn Hughes. You put McWard up with, I don't know. No matter what scenario happens, it's difficult. So I think the easiest answer is just get Willander up if he's healthy, move Cole to the right side. But it's going to be touch and go, that's for sure.
Dave, it's the subject of our poll question today. Are you worried about Elias Pettersson?
I mean, short answer, no. We've seen these struggles before, and he's come out of it, swimmingly. Just like this time last week, we were talking about, how amazing he is. And so I think for me, the bigger question is what's wrong with him and what are the Canucks doing to help him out. I'm just, it's if it's nothing too serious, it's hard to keep him out of the lineup. But at the same time, if he is ailing, it might be time to give him a night off. Maybe I don't know. So I'm not really so worried about his game because, like I said, he's proven that he can bounce back and just figure it out. But I just think long term here, what is going on there, especially with like the balance. You see him just like falling, and it just seems like something's off. And I've actually been following this closely with like Kirill Kaprizov over in Minnesota. I've heard the exact same thing where he just there's something that seems to be off, and I think it's the same thing where there's just something lingering there that's going on, and maybe it's just time to give him a break. I don't know.
We're gonna break that down quite a bit in our next segment. Dave, thank you as always for joining us. Great stuff as always, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Dave Hall, ladies and gentlemen. You can go read his stuff over at CanucksArmy.com.